And we are live? Yes. Yes. What's up, party people? This is Tony Fix with Blue Green Artifacts. I'm going to make this one quick today because it is my daughter's birthday. We have some things planned, but she's upstairs talking with her grandpa on the computer right now. So I thought I'd knock this out. I know we dropped a little preview, not really a preview, a teaser in the Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, again, Blue Green Artifacts. Please do stop by. I've kind of transplanted what I do there here, just talking about things that I am buying and potentially selling, although I'm not really in selling mode right now. Haven't sold, haven't had a sale on whatnot for a few weeks. Yeah, it just, to me, it seems like a time to just hold on to things for a little bit and watch what's coming up in this new year. But anyways, let's jump right into it. I'm a longtime comic collector, was into comics in the mid 80s as a junior high kid, picked it up again in the early 90s as a young college kid, and then jumped back into it about 5-6 years ago and shifted from the collecting side of it to the buying and selling. And I don't know, I'm not a professional comic book store owner by any means, but it's able to pay some bills here and there. So I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, let's just talk about the stuff that we are buying and what we plan to do with it and then go from there. Cool. All right. So if you've tuned in my last couple, you will know that I have been on a Laura and Gabby kick, X-23 and Honey Badger. This is all new Wolverine number 35. This is the final issue of that run. All New Wolverine was the run that Gabby Honey Badger was introduced. Her first appearance is in number 2. I believe this is just cover A of 35. I picked that one up just because it was in a pack with this one. This is the variant cover. Who is it? Torque, Elizabeth Torque. Kind of cool Deadpool, Gabby, and Jonathan is the Wolverine. Again, I don't know. Everybody has their own reasoning for things. My reasoning on Gabby and Laura, there are a lot of mutants to pick from, like a ton. But Gabby and Laura stand out in the younger generation of mutants as far as having a cult following. Both of their first appearances are either at or approaching $1,000 or more. And looking at Marvel and Disney owning the property and what they're going to do with the mutants, Disney Plus is the perfect platform for the mutants because they can have seasons of shows. X-Men stories are really in arcs. You have the Dark Phoenix saga, you have Days of Future Past series, you've got the stuff in Mojo verse with Longshot and them. Those are kind of self-contained pieces, jumping forward and backward in time with certain characters and delving deeper into that. It's just perfect for Disney Plus. They don't have to have X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men 3, X-Men 4. You could have features, but you could definitely branch off and do an Old Man Logan. You could come back and do a Trial of Magneto, whatever you want to do. So Gabby and Laura is just a story that I would love to see on screen. I would love to have a couple seasons of that kind of big sister, little sister being hunted down, cross-country adventure kind of thing. I think that would be a lot of fun. So, and it'd be awesome if Daphne, whatever her name is, would pick up the role as a young woman now. And then casting a young Honey Badger. It'd be awesome. So anyways, that's really why I've been picking up these other covers. They're, again, like I said, their first appearances have already spiked. If you can grab them for cheap, great. But aside from their first appearances, they don't have a lot of other books that have a lot of spec value yet. So that's the thought process there. Also got in a box. If you saw in my teaser, you saw a box from Scout Comics. I do subscribe to their monthly subscription box, which it's about $40, but it is absolutely worth it. This box this month had 10 #1 comics, some of them cover A, some of them variants, as well as a graphic novel. Pretty cool. So I'll just fly through those quick. We had the Shiver Bureau #1 from Scout. Some of these, usually they're newer books, but this time they peppered in some older books. Zinnober #1 is a book from a while ago. Graveland #1. Scout doesn't get as much press, so I and most people aren't as familiar with these titles. Wolfborn #1. I think this is a variant cover. That is a thick book. Oh, wait, I got two books there, sorry. By Brian Milton Jr. We got Red Winter #1. Again, a lot of times I open these and I don't know anything about them at the time. And then 2 months later, one or two becomes extremely valuable. I think this is an older one. And I saw listings for this Stabity Bunny #1. This is a variant cover. People are trying to sell this for $50. I'm not sure if that's what it's actually worth. Oblivion #1. But again, sometimes I open these and I don't know anything about them. And then a couple months later, like I got a copy of the Recount Ashcan, which I ended up selling for over $200. That came in one of these boxes. Cyber Spectre #1 with the Jamie Tyndall cover. And the graphic novel that came this month was Grit. So, and they come with these comic tags. You get this little, it's basically like a code for an online download, which is kind of lame. But they made these special carriers for them, and they get signed by the creator. So this one is signed by Rivera. Same cover art as we saw in that other comic. I even with the signature, I don't see that having necessarily any value. But what else? Phoenix Song Echo #1 is the first appearance of this character named River. I want to say River is a I don't know. I don't know much about it, but I do know this is the hard to find variant. It is already up there in value. I wanted to get one before it gets out of reach. Beautiful cover. Yeah. Another Gabby Laura book, X-23 #2, the second print. Really cool design variant. These are selling for a good amount of money. Oh, a little cover rub there. I didn't see that. That's sad. Those are pretty corners too. Oh well. I hunted down all the cheap copies I can. I don't want to pay $50 a piece for them. I found a bunch of these. So all new Wolverine #19. These aren't bagged or boarded yet. We've got a really cool, this is a 1 in 10, Gabby and Laura kind of feature cover of X-23 and Honey Badger. There was a 1 in 1,000 for this #19. It was the Venomized variant of X-23 in the black and white version. The color version was a variant cover for 18, and they used the black and white version as the 1 in 1,000. So there were retailers who ordered a lot of copies of 19. There were a bunch of covers. So I happened to get these all from the same retailer. I got about 12 copies of that 1 in 10. Which is common if you find a retailer that was going for those high ratios. Often they end up with a crap ton of these and sometimes have them for good prices. But again, I'm kind of looking at feature covers. There aren't a lot of feature covers with both Gabby and Laura, and that's a nice one. What else do we have here? We've been on a Scotty Young kick along with everyone else recently. So this was another recent cool Black Panther Scotty Young cover. Some of these are some of my pre-orders, I believe. Yes. Miss Marvel Beyond the Limit came out. I did pre-order multiple copies of a few of these covers. I might regret that. I don't think there's anything so special about this one. It has Miles Morales in the middle, but not great cover art. And we've got a Peach Momoko trading card design variant for #1. That's kind of cool. We've got a couple copies of the Scotty Young. Can't go wrong there. #1. I'm loving these Rose Besh covers that she's doing for Dynamite. I've been ordering some of the Virgins, not all of them. This isn't maybe my favorite, but this is for the Knicks, I think #3, maybe. This is the Virgin variant. This is the one, the reason, the piece de resistance, as they'd say. Nick's number 2, I think, the version. That is by far Rose Besh's best work. And the color knocks. I did pick up one of the black and white virgin variant, but it doesn't do it justice, man. This is the one to get. And I think I have a couple medals of this on the way here too. Here's a Perillo of the Knicks book. I want to say this is number 2 as well, the Virgin. Chris Bacalo, underrated in my opinion. He had a really awesome cover for Phoenix Song Echo number 3, where she's on the moon. We were talking about this with a couple other covers, but there's some covers where you look at it and you get a glimpse. It looks like a screenshot, like you were watching an awesome TV show and you just froze the screen. That Moon Knight cover where he had just beaten up a bunch of guys in his white costume, I would consider that. I would consider this too, where she's just sitting chilling on the moon looking back at the earth. So I picked up a few copies of that. Again, Chris Bacalo is pretty underrated. I like to do some adult whatnot. I'm not sure, maybe I'm not supposed to, but some adult sales. So I do keep an eye out for risque covers and that kind of thing. We've got Scary Christmas 2. You get Christmas collectors and risque collectors. A couple copies of that. Why not? Another one, not necessarily risque, but in that arena. Barbarella number 6. I think this is the first Barbarella cover I've ever ordered. It's a 1 in 10. You know, it's a trading card, or playing card variant. I don't know. It looked cool. Another Rose Besh Dynamite Virgin cover. This was for Vampirella. I'm not sure even what number it was, but do like that one. Another book for the adult sale is Jim Balint's Tarot Witch of the Black Rose. This is number 126, the studio edition, signed by Jim Balint. So cool cover, cool signature. If I can pre-order those for fairly cheap, I do. We've got Ahsoka coming up. There was the official collector's edition from Titan Magazine, Star Wars The Clone Wars collector's edition. This was a variant cover featuring Ahsoka. I am looking to send off some magazines to get graded, and this is probably going to be one of them. I only got one copy of that. Kind of wonder if I shouldn't have picked more up. And then we got 3 slabs, and then we will wrap it up here. You can check out my my Instagram post. We were talking about Nebula and questioning the number 1 Bartell. Gosh, this is just too shiny. Sorry. Questioning why the number 1 Bartell has spiked. This is the 1 in 50, a 9.8 by Mirka Andolfo, another great artist. And this 9.8 was just a little bit more than the 9.8 for the Bartell. I love Bartell. Bartell is from Minneapolis. Nothing against Bartell at all. I collect all of her work. But the reasoning for that book spiking, I just don't see it. It is her first solo series, but it's like a brand new solo series. It's not like a solo series that came out in the 80s where it's hard to find minty copies. Every copy out there should be minty. There's no reason why that book should have spiked. There's technically a first appearance, but it's a character that, anyways. This one, in my opinion, is the one to own. If you want Nebula 1, the new version, this is the rare one, the Mirka Andolfo. So to get a 9.8 for the same price as people are paying for the A cover, hell to the yeah. Also, I ran across this raw, and I jumped on to see if I could find any more copies. I do dig some of the Alex Ross work that he's done for DC Comics, and I don't even know if you can grasp that through the video. This is a copy of Justice number 1. I think it is a connecting cover variant. This is the villain side, and then there's a hero side. Just the colors that he used and the detail is just beautiful. I found this 9.6 for like $30. So for basically the price of grading it, absolutely. Absolutely. 2 left. We got a Star Wars Dr. Aphra. I think I picked this up from Nick at Slabbed Heroes. This is one of the 1 in 25s for issue number 9. Art by, I can't read it. I'm not sure. Bennett, maybe? Not the best art, but again, it's one of those screenshots that you're obviously picking it up in the middle of a story. Some stuff's happening. So, and we all know Bartel is coming soon. This one, though, is my favorite pickup of the week. This one, I'll make a prediction. I think it will hit lists. If it hasn't already, I haven't seen it. I know it's gotten some mentions from Mel, Drunken Chat, but A-Force number 1, the Stephanie Hans variant, the one in, I'm not sure if it's 1 in 50 or 1 in 25. 1 in 25 would make more sense. This is a beautiful, beautiful cover. Trying to. It's hard doing videos during the day because I'm dealing with reflection in the rear as well. This is the first appearance of Singularity. This is just a beautiful cover, rare. You know, the A-Force back in 2015. You know, we were still kind of ramping up into print runs. So you don't see a ton of these out there. So a 9.8 of that, I'm super happy with that. A-Force has been kind of a cult favorite among speculators for the last couple years, I would say. But there hasn't been as much talk on this one as there has about the regular cover A. That's really all I got to talk about today. Just want to say if you ever watch my daughter, happy birthday. It's my daughter's 10th birthday today. LilyAnn, we're going to go out for dinner. We're going to have some presents and some cake and all that good stuff. So, but that's it for me. Tune in next time. Please give me a like, give me a subscribe, click the little bell. I tend to do this where I jump on live and just throw it out there whenever we have enough pickups to go through. And then obviously you can rewatch later, comment, whatever you want to do, but give me a follow, spread the word. I have some old videos, but I'm trying to bring this medium back to the dead, this channel back to the dead. I am part of the Tales from the Flipside crew. I try to help out with the Comic News Weekly show over at Simple Man's Comics when my schedule permits. And yeah, that's it. Have a great weekend all. Peace.